What's up, Colby Sharp, fifth grade teacher. Welcome to my channel where I try to help kids fall in love with reading. Today, we're gonna be sharing the books that my fifth graders are reading currently in class. We have about 7.5 weeks left in the school year. It is just mind-blowing to think about. Wow. So I'm gonna share the books that they're reading. If you see anything awesome, just be sure to add it to your to-read list. Maybe you can find something to share with the kids that you are serving. First up, Hands, Tori Maldonado. We actually read and did like a Zoom visit with Tori about his book, What Lane, through Bookalicious. It was amazing. The kids had such great questions for Tori. We had a great discussion throughout the book. He writes these really powerful, amazing middle grade books that are less than 150 pages, and I highly recommend. I think the first one was Tight, What Lane, and Hands, just phenomenal books. This girl loves Dork Diaries. She's all Dork Diaries all the time. Exciting to see her fall for that series. Goosebumps graphic novel. This kid has read like a bazillion books this year. It is so fun to see what he's reading, whether he's into all autographic novels, he's into fantasy, he's very into Greek mythology, just reading all kinds of different things. Exciting to see him with Goosebumps. And this girl's exploring historical fiction for the first time, and I think Jennifer's books are the absolute perfect introduction to that genre. Kicking things off here with Mr. Wolf's class. This kid, he's like, this is the last Mr. Wolf's class I have left to read. I'm like, it's the first one. So, you know, sometimes as a reader, you can't find the book that you want to read in a series like this. And the series like Mr. Wolf's class, you can read them in any order. But just a phenomenal series. It's easy to see quickly in these books that Aaron used to be a classroom teacher. He just gets what it's like to be a part of one of a classroom community. This one, friends, brand new book, Catherine Marsh's The Myth of Monsters, Medusa. This one's making the rounds. This one's popular. Kids are really digging this. It's phenomenal book. Girl kind of realizes that she's got like some magical tendencies. Family or her mother swoops her off to this special school, kind of like Percy Jackson-y, but instead of being like Greek goddesses, these kids have like blood in their system that's like a percentage of like monsters, like Medusa. Whoa, such a wild ride. I think it's going to be a series. Hold on tight. Easy to see why Otter by Catherine Applegate is on it's all over the New York Times bestseller list for like multiple years. Phenomenal novel in verse. Catherine Applegate, one of the great writers of our time. So exciting to see kids get a chance to spend a little bit of time in these wonderful pages. One of my favorites from a few years ago, All Rise for the Honorable Perry T. Cook, Leslie Connor, the story of a boy who lives with his mom incarcerated. His mom was incarcerated when she was pregnant. They've worked out a deal with the warden where the mom gets to raise Perry, but he like goes outside of the prison gates for school. It's fascinating. Someone in the community decides that maybe, fix my camera here, this is not a good situation for him and he needs to like go into like a different home environment. Whoa, intense, phenomenal, fantastic read. Lisa Phipps, we just finished reading her new book, And Then Boom. Whoa. Holy smokes, phenomenal read aloud. So now since then we've had multiple kids read Starfish, which is really amazing because it's such a powerful book. I actually read Starfish aloud last year, so it's really exciting to see kids digging into this one. Two of the worst moms, Starfish mom and Then Boom. Holy smokes. I was having a conversation with one of my readers about which mom is worse, and she picked the Starfish mom. I would have gone with And Then Boom. Both pretty rough. History Smashers, the American Revolution. This is the kid who's the most excited every day during so when I teach social studies, it's like he lives for it. He lives for social studies, and he has recently discovered History Smashers books, the series by Kate Messner, and he's so into it. He's the kind of a kid when we're learning about the Bill of Rights, he goes home and studies the other amendments to the Constitution. He's just so happy. So he's reading this and he's just telling me all kinds of things as he's reading it. It makes me so happy. He says he's going to read all the books in the series, which is just awesome. So thank you for those books, Kate Messner. Next up, we have this Compass South, Hope Larson book. Kids have been really digging this over the years. I don't know if I have it in the classroom library, but I feel like it keeps showing up from our school library. Indy cars. You see this kid just checked out Indy cars and Corvettes. We had a conversation yesterday. He wanted some car books. We don't have them in our classroom library, but the kids visited our school library today and he's able to pick these up. And cutest jungle animals ever. I haven't seen this book. I think it's due in our library. Hummingbird. Great to see. Here at this group, a lot of graphic novels, including Double Down, Die Everyone Be Kids. Kid has been reading a bunch of these. Wildfire, which was not one that was really talked about a ton, but it's nice to see some like online and stuff. But it's really popular in my class. Wildfire comes in, family has to evacuate, phenomenal book. Warriors graphic novel. I've never really had a lot of kids read the Warrior books, but the graphic novels are starting to get them into it a little bit. So maybe, because I see kids all over the world, not like all over the world, but like kids all over the world are reading these Warrior books, but it hasn't really kind of taken off in my classroom. Maybe I need to read them and then I can happen. A bunch of kids have been rereading or reading for the first time the Amulet series since the latest book comes out, which is very awesome to see. And then for the Murphys, we kicked off our school year reading Linda Mullally Hunt's Fish in a Tree, and a bunch of kids, probably 7 or 8, have read One for the Murphys since then. And when kids read One for the Murphys, they almost always say, I want another book like that. I want another book like One for the Murphys. Babysitter's Club graphic novel, always popular, especially those Raina Telgemeyer's, those first couple. Hatchet. Someone's reading Hatchet. I fell in love with reading in the classroom right next door to the one I'm sitting in right now when Mrs. Collins read aloud this book. And the fact that I now get to teach in that same building with kids who read that same book, it's just the best. It's an absolute best. The One and Only Bob. I got an early copy of The One and Only Family, which is the 4th book in the series. Actually, a kid right behind me is reading it. I didn't show it because he's actually reading it next. He's reading something on his Kindle, so I didn't show what he was reading on his Kindle because I don't really know how those work. But he's going to read The One and Only Family next, which is very exciting. So then other kids are like, oh, I got to catch up. I've only read The One and Only Ivan. So a kid reading The One and Only Bob. And absolutely not. This series, the new one just came out. I repurchased the series, made sure I had copies that were not falling apart and stuff, and our librarian has been getting copies of these as well. This series is hugely popular the last 2 weeks. Since we came back from spring break, tons of kids are reading this, which is exciting. So these are the books that my 5th graders are reading. Hope you found something great to add to your list. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. It means the world to me. Thanks for tuning in. Share this video with other teachers looking for great books to share with their kids. Thank you for helping kids fall in love with reading. My name is Colby Sharp. Hope you have an awesome-tastic day.